Welcome to Bedtime Stories with Brandon Copeland. I got Benson here tonight.
Hi.
And I got Max.
What's up?
Nice, Max. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Once upon a time, there was a man who was like any other man. He had a family, and he had children, and he had a job. And this man's boss was the worst. I mean, his boss was so mean. He would call him early in the morning and say, "Hey, get up. I need my coffee. I want you to get me some coffee and bring it over to the office on the double." And then when he got there and brought like he'd do it, the guy would bring the stuff. And when he got there, the boss would be like, "What do you call this coffee? It's cold. And I like two things of sugar, not one. What are you, some sort of moron?" And all day long, I mean, the boss was like this. He would do his work, and the boss would come in and see what he's doing and go, "You call that work? It looks like a monkey did that work. This is terrible. Do it again." So this boss was just horrible. And finally the man, he kind of reached his limit. You can only, sometimes people are mean to you and you kind of just turn the other cheek. But there's a certain point where you just say, I don't deserve this anymore. So one day, the man was at his office, and the boss was there, and the boss came in to criticize the man about something. And the man said, "You know what? I've had it with this garbage." And he picked up his computer and threw it at the boss's face. And then he picked up his chair and he smashed the computer on the ground. And then he walked up to his boss and he gave him an atomic wedgie and hung it on the doorknob so the boss's feet weren't touching the ground. He was just hanging by the back of his underwear. And he said, "How do you like it? Now I quit." And he walked out in a fury. The boss, of course, was fuming mad but scared because this guy was losing his mind. So the boss and he was stuck on the door with his atomic wedgie. So the man walked out of the office, got in his car, drove home, and that was it. He was like, "This is the greatest day." He drove all the way home in a fury and told his wife, he said, "Honey, today I quit my stupid job, and I hate that dumb boss, and I just quit." And the wife was like, "That's great. I'm so glad. You deserve so much better. This guy, he is the worst boss." And then she said, "So what are you going to do for your next job?" And the man said, "Oh, I didn't even think about my next job. Shoot, I got to come up with something." So that, from that point forward, he was just thinking about, what am I going to do for my job? He can't get a good recommendation from his boss because of the atomic wedgie and throwing a computer at his face and all that. So the man realized, you know what, I probably need to I can't work anywhere because I won't get a good recommendation. Everyone's probably going to think that I'm some sort of crazy person. I think I'll just start my own business. Let me think about it. What business? What does everybody want? Everybody wants something. What does everybody want? So he thought about that all night. And finally he came up in the middle of the night, he sat up in bed and he turned on the light and he yelled out loud, "Honey, I know what everyone wants." And the wife was like, "What?" She was asleep. It was 3:00 in the morning. "What? What are you talking about?" "Honey, everyone wants pizza. That's what everybody wants. I don't know a single person that doesn't like pizza. And there's some people that like pepperoni pizza, but others like vegetable pizza. But everybody likes pizza." And the wife was like, "That's great, honey. Go back to bed." "Nope, I'm not going to bed. I'm starting a pizza business." And so it was. The next day, the man woke up. He decided he needed to develop some very special pizza recipes that no one's ever heard of, because everyone's had a pepperoni pizza and everybody's had a cheese pizza, but this man needed something that no one had ever heard of, because then they'd all want it. So he climbed high up into the mountains to the top of the tallest mountain. And he sat on the top of the tallest mountain and he started to meditate. He said, up here my mind can be clear and free, and this is where I will get the idea for the best pizza. So he sat there thinking, hum, hum. That's called a mantra. He was doing his mantra. And then halfway into his third mantra, about an hour in, I got it! I'm going to create spider pizza. Spiders are the ticket. Spiders and crickets. That's the answer. So he came down, and you know why it is the answer? It's the answer because spiders are one of the greatest sources of protein. It's better protein than steak. Crickets are better protein than chicken. So he could get really, really, really healthy pizza by putting cooked bugs on it. And he'd give it a fancy name. You know what you call cooked octopus? What's cooked octopus called? It's called calamari. Calamari. Sounds fancy, doesn't it? So he made a special pizza, and he called it ogalabata. Really, it was spider pizza with crickets. But he called it my ogalata pizza. It's a pizza ogalata. So he made his store. He made his recipe. He started putting spiders and crickets on everything. He didn't tell anybody. He just said, pizza ogalata. And everybody ate the pizza ogalata. And they loved it. And it was healthy. And everybody agreed. This was the best pizza. It's healthy. It's good. It's relatively cheap because, spiders are really cheap to buy and to sell. And so are crickets. And the man became wildly successful. So successful until finally he had so many stores and had sold so many pizzas that one day while he was there at one of his stores, a old man going bald, missing all his teeth, wandered in. And the old man looked at the person. He said, "This pizza stinks." And the boy realized who it was. It was his old boss. He's like, "Oh, get out of my store, or I'll throw you in the pizza oven." And the boss left. And the man felt like, yeah, this is it. This is my destiny. I've defeated the boss man. I have my own stores. I'm successful. And the pizza ogalata is wonderful. And I'll tell you the rest tomorrow.